Look at him, he's a killer, ain't he? The great big lion. Hey Mo, what's up, buddy? That's his favorite spot. You can kind of watch everything, but nobody can see him. All right, so today is Saturday, guys, and I went and did the yard sale thing this morning, and it was a bit of a slow start because we had Friday into Saturday, we just had a ton of rain. We had like I don't know, 2.5 inches of rain that came down, so that kind of put a damper on things. But I was still able to score some stuff. I filled the truck. The town over by us, Kingston, had its town-wide yard sale, but again, it got going to a slow start. So let's go do a little walk around and kind of show you what we got. And while it's here, this is probably the best piece that we got. What I do when I go to yard sales, and especially if it's a property that's looks like it's got like a barn and horses or a garage out back and it's been established for a while, I ask them if they have any power equipment, any old mowers, snow blowers, rototillers, that kind of thing, anything gas powered. And sometimes, because like this, you know, it was stuck in the backyard and flat tires and everything, they're not going to go pushing around front during a yard sale. But if you ask about it and you have the capacity to go get it, and again, I carry the ramps with me and there's a winch in the back of my truck, it sometimes comes to fruition, and this one did. So I have a feeling this one is just either bad gas or spark. They said just one time they went to go start it and it wouldn't start for them, so they just kind of put it out back and forgot about it, and that's where I came along. And 212 is a good tractor. It's lower on the level. You know, the higher the numbers go, basically the better the tractor they are. This being a standard trans, but it does have the variator, which is this lever on the side, and what that does is each gear that you put it in, it gives it a range. So first gear will have a range, say from you know, 0.5 mile an hour to 2 miles an hour, and then you put in second will be from, you know, probably 1 mile an hour to 3 or 4, and third gear, etc., etc. You get the idea. So it's a fairly good unit as far as that's concerned. You know, it's a real John Deere, not the Home Cheapo stuff that's out there, and it looks fairly decent. The mower deck's been patched in a few places. There's a patch down in there, a piece of stainless. So we just kind of cleaned them up, and then somebody boogered up the hinge on the one side of the hood. So I'll probably have to just drill right through the hood, and I'll just nut and bolt it because it's ripped out of the fiberglass. But other than that, you know, other than maybe needing a battery and some, definitely some cleaning up, that should come back. And that also came with the bagger assembly. So I got a twin bagger, the bags and the pickup tube for it, so it makes for a good setup. And at the same house, after I loaded the tractor, they say we don't have a use for this anymore, but we also have the cart that goes behind it. And the only thing with that is the tires just popped off the bead. But again, that one's a fairly decent one too. Probably doesn't show up in the camera, but it's a fairly large size buggy with decent sized tires on it. So I'm gonna go clean that one up, just pressure wash it real quick and stick that one up front and see if we can get that up for sale. And what else did we grab? I got this John Deere weed whacker. The thing weighs a ton. I think I had 10 bucks on it. I got it for 8 bucks. It's a 2-stroke, but what I like about it is it's got the centrifugal clutch in it built into here, so that when you start it up, the end of the shaft is not turning until you rev it up. So my thought is this would make for a good bike build. I could use this motor being a 2-stroke, and again, I'm not sure how many cc's it is. I'm having a feeling it's going to be 85 cc's because the number on it is 85G. And if you look at that cylinder head, that's a fairly large setup on there. So that might make for a good bike. And it was cheap enough, and it came with this extra straight shaft assembly off of something else. I'm not sure if they're the same. Actually, they do. The hub kind of looks like that, but that's okay. I'll never use it as a weed whacker. And I'd say last but not least, actually there's nothing in the truck, but I grabbed this thing. It is an old camp stove, and I'm judging by the color of it, I'm gonna say it's probably 40s and 50s, because later on those Coleman ones became real popular, you know, the green ones. But what I liked about it is that gas tank. It's got kind of a cool look to it, And my thought is, again, on a bike build, that would make a really neat gas tank. Just kind of leave it just the way it is. And it's got the little pump up thing too. So even if I mount it low, I could actually pressurize the system and be the fuel tank. And that's where it was built. And again, it has the stand that comes with it too. So I'm not quite sure what we'll do with it, but I just liked it for the tank. I probably paid a little more than I should have for that. That was 20 bucks, but still, I think I went looking for one of these tanks, you know, one of the red ones on the Coleman ones. I just couldn't find one, so I figured that would have a cool look, a cool patina to it for building whatever I want to build out of it. The tractor was $140, and the buggy was 20 bucks. So that's those pieces. And still in the truck, just one last piece. Yeah, I grabbed this oscilloscope. I did plug it in. It does work. It looks like it's only a single input as far as that's concerned. And sometimes you can get two. You can kind of watch what they're going and doing next to each other, but that's okay. It's been quite a while since I used one of these, but there was a time when I actually knew what I was doing with this. So we may have to re-educate ourselves and try to get familiar with it again. But they had 10 bucks on it. I offered 5 and they took it. So for 5 bucks, I figured it was worth a shot. If not, it can go to the scrap pile. But I have a feeling it should work. It lit up, so. And I don't know if you guys have been following R. Peak and his wife had a accident with their V-dub. Cinderella got hit. They got T-boned on the side on the passenger side, just behind the driver's door, and took a really good hit. My opinion, that car is pretty close to totaled, and they kind of want to, I don't blame them, want to go fix it. And I had this sitting here, and I contacted them, said, well, you know, you're gonna need a pan, you're gonna need a whole bunch of stuff. And I do have the, I keep calling it Stan, but it's actually Stance. It's on a license plate, but too bad the name's Stan now. And I love the buses, I love the bugs too, but at the same token, I know that I will not have the time to deal with this because there's other buses that I'd rather play with than this bug. So I offered this up to them minus the motor, and they're gonna come grab this in about a week or so. And they're gonna pop the motor out of Cinderella and bring this one back to life. And this car's really not in terrible shape. I mean, it's got some issues, but it's not bad for a starting point anyway, you know. Just had the critters that I kicked out of it. I believe there's new upholstery for the seats. It's like they laid it over the front, but not well. And the pans are pretty solid. I stole a couple little pieces out of it. I stole the voltage regulator and the wiper, the headlight high beam, low beam switch are the two pieces that I took out of it. So, you know, it's gonna need some love, but I think it's a much better starting point for them than what they have now. It's actually probably, it was probably in a little bit better shape than Cinderella was when you were showing what was bubbling through. I mean, this has some stuff too, you know, it's showing here and there. Some bubbling right here, but it's not terrible. And that way, to free up my trailer, I can go get something else. And again, I'm just gonna snag this motor, and I have 4 other things that this motor will run as far as what it uses, being I have 3 buses and a trike. So I have a feeling that if I let this thing go with the motor, that I would blow one of those motors and I'd be pissed. So this is gonna go to those guys. And again, this is it's a 74 pan with a 68 body is the combination that's on this. So it's got the IRS rear suspension, and you know, it's just a better driving car all around, and it's got those decent wheels. This one, I do notice this one's got some rust on the bottom, but other than that, I don't see any dry rot on the tires. And I think that's the only rim that's really got any kind of punkiness to it. So I'm glad I was able to go to somebody that can use it and put it back on the road, because I have a feeling it would probably sit here for about another year or so on my trailer. So so be it, right? And you guys can go watch him put that thing back together, and he can live another day at his house. All right, I'm gonna go play with the tractor, see if I can go get that thing cleaned up and fire it up, and get a little assessment of that, and maybe go get myself something to bite to eat. All right, guys, again, thanks for watching, commenting, and take care. Bye.